when you think about some meta themes we're meant to notice in the Old Testament, sometimes I have a hard time, with reading all this stuff and then holding the big picture in mind. Like, and this is my problem with fiction, long fiction. Like, people are Tolkien fans. I loved the movies. Trying to read The Two Towers, very hard for me. I'm like, who's the spider and who's the, all the names. And that's like this with the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
But it can be helpful to go, what are the broad themes that if we could just hang on to these through lines, it'll help us? Do you want to shoot a few of those?
Sure, yeah. Well, one of them that comes out really clearly in Exodus is, everything with me is Exodus, is they're serving Pharaoh. They are servants of Pharaoh at the beginning of the book, and they're servants of Yahweh by the end of the book. So people think of Exodus as the liberation book, like God just sets them free, as if he's saying, go live your best life now. You do you, but that's not actually what Exodus says. It's God takes them out from under Pharaoh's rulership and brings them under his own rulership. So they still have a master. But this master is fundamentally different than the master they've been serving, because he makes sure that they have the conditions for flourishing. And that is, so I don't know what, have you seen those posters that, like, when you're standing across the room from it, it's like a person's face, and then you get close to the poster and it's like a bunch of the person's face all over it is making up the This has been my experience with the Bible. You back up and you're like, oh wow, God is a very benevolent master. And then you zoom into the smallest detail and you go, oh wow, God is a benevolent master. So here's an example in Exodus. In chapter 5, Pharaoh tells them, I'm not giving you straw anymore. You have to get your own straw to make your bricks. So he's forcing them to make mud bricks. To make a mud brick, you have to mix straw with it. The straw decomposes and releases an acid that makes the brick firm so that it won't crumble. If you've ever tried to make a sandcastle, they don't last very long. You need something that's going to like cement it. And the straw is what acts that way for the brick. And Pharaoh's like, I'm not supplying this anymore. Go get your own. But you still have to meet your quota. And the word for quota that he uses in Hebrew is davar yom bayomo. The stuff day for its day is the sort of clumsy way of saying, like, the requirement I'm giving you every day, the day-by-day requirement, you still have to meet it. Fast forward to Exodus chapter 16. They've been set free from slavery in Egypt. They're now in the wilderness, and the people are hungry. And God says, I'm going to send you manna, and I want you to go out and gather it. So they're going out to gather manna, just like they went out to gather straw, only the straw didn't benefit them at all. It was only for Pharaoh, only to aggrandize his kingdom. They're now going out and collecting manna, and God says, go out and collect davar yom bayomo, a quota for each day. I want every person to have enough to eat. So I'm going to give you enough for each day. You just have to go out and get it. And I'm like, you put those two side by side, it's like so cool. So you can zoom into one phrase, or you can zoom out and go, wow, I would way rather work for Yahweh than for Pharaoh.
Did you catch that? That is amazing. Pharaoh said, go gather straws for yourself, enough for the quota of each day to build my thing. And God's like, go out and gather stuff, what you need, so that you can be filled and fed. Yeah. Wow.
It's fun. And I could do that like 200 times over with Exodus, because it happens all over the place, right? They're building store cities for Pharaoh, which in Hebrew are miskanot. And a store city is basically a bunch of mud brick containers. Like think like a truck. What are they called? Shipping container that you like fill with stuff. You can't fit everything in your building, so you just put a shipping container out the back and you put all the VBS stuff out there.
Have you seen our property?
I have not, but I imagine there are places, right? And so Pharaoh's having them build shipping containers for him to amass stuff for himself. That's miskanot. And then they go to Mount Sinai and God says, build a mishkan, a dwelling for me and for my presence. Pharaoh is extorting their labor, and God says, let the people know that this is what I need them to bring. And everybody willingly brings all this stuff. There's no tax, there's no like compulsory service to build the tabernacle. They're just doing it because they want. In fact, Moses has to go tell the people, stop bringing offerings. We have more than we can use to build the tabernacle. Wow. So you see these two building projects. One's for the glory of Pharaoh and one's for the glory of Yahweh. One's compulsory. The other one is voluntary. It's so fun.
Okay, let's stay on Exodus then. Let's get you rolling. Okay, so you said this word serve.
Yeah.
Is it true that the word serve and the word worship are essentially the same word,
Yep,
avad?
it's the same.
Okay, why? I mean, what's the hidden meaning we miss there with serving God and worshiping God?
Maybe that it's not about us. The hidden meaning that Sunday worship is not about, I'm looking for the fix that will give me the kind of shot of inspiration that will get me through my week. But it's actually something I'm doing for God, that I'm bringing my body and my money and my time, and I'm laying it at his feet and saying, you're worthy of it all.
And it spills out there. Rock Harbor's had signs in the parking lot over the years, different points that said worship begins here, which is this, your service to God begins now as you leave, as you enter into the world.